Okay, so chapter 6, life processes. So firstly, we will study what is the meaning of life processes. All the processes which maintains body functions and which are necessary for our survival, or we can say for the survival of any organism, are called life processes. Suppose if a human being is there, then apart from doing the external activities like studying, earning money, traveling, all these things are separate. For his maintenance of his body, there are some processes which are essential, which every living organisms do, like taking food, then absorption of energy from that food, then removal of the waste, we can say, or unused particles from the body, respiration. All living things do these things. So these processes are known as life processes, which are necessary for the survival of any living organism, or which maintains our body. Like when we are sleeping or our body is not active, then also these functions or these processes are carry on in our body. These processes are known as life processes, like nutrition, process of taking of food, then respiration, exchange of gases, or we do it for creating energy inside our body, then digestion, then excretion, transportation is also there. All these processes are known as life processes. Okay. Now in this chapter, basically we will study the life process of two organisms mainly. Firstly, plants, and then in animals of human beings only. और किसी एनिमल का हमको लाइफ प्रोसेस स्टडी नहीं करना है. One example is their nutrition in amoeba, है ना, that we have to study. Apart from this, we will mainly discuss about the different life processes of plants and of human beings. So again we can see that these are all different life processes: nutrition, metabolism, or we can say digestion, reproduction, that is also essential for the survival of human beings or any other organism. Transportation means once food is taken inside the body, then how it is transported to different parts of the body, or how the waste particles are removed, how energy or the substance carrying energy are transporting all the things. Then respiration, and then we can say excretion, removal of waste. So all these processes are collectively known as life processes, which are essential for the survival of human beings. Okay. After this, starting with the first process, that is nutrition. So the process of intake of food, or we can say nutrients, or we can say the process by which we get nutrients for our survival, or we get food for our survival, or which is essential to provide energy. Like different machines, our body also needs some fuel, or we can say some energy to carry out our different processes. Like when we are moving, we are talking, whenever we are doing anything, we need some energy. So from where does this energy come? This energy comes from the food which we eat. So basically this food or these nutrients are fuel for our body, है ना? So the process of intake of these food particles or nutrients is known as nutrition. Now, what are these nutrients? These nutrients are mainly carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, and minerals. These all are essential for our survival, or by all these nutrients, we carry out our different functions. Now, out of these five nutrients, first three, carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, they are, we can say, they are very much essential for us, because we get energy mainly from these nutrients, है ना. हमारी बॉडी की जो एनर्जी रिक्वायरमेंट है that energy requirement is completed by carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Also, vitamins and minerals are also important, but they mainly these three are used for creating energy inside our body. Okay, so we can write down the definition of nutrition easily: the process of intake of food or the process by which we get our food or we get different nutrients is known as nutrition. Carbohydrate, fats, proteins, vitamins, and minerals are the main nutrients which are required by our body. Okay. Now next thing we will discuss about the modes of nutrition of different living organisms. So mainly it is of two types. First autotrophic and the second one heterotrophic. So the meaning of the word trophic is food and or we can say food synthesis. Basically the meaning of this word trophic is synthesis of food or we can say food synthesis. Now, mode of food synthesis. Firstly, auto. If the organism is preparing its food by itself, then it come under this category autotrophic. Heterotrophic, if the nutrition depends on some other organisms for its food synthesis, yeah, for its requirement of food, then this mode of nutrition is known as heterotrophic. Okay. So can you tell me any organisms which come under this category autotrophic? Green plants, है ना? Mostly all the green plants come under this category. Okay, then blue-green algae are also there in your previous classes. You have studied about them. Blue-green algae. They also perform autotrophic mode of nutrition. Then, in heterotrophic, we can classify this mode of nutrition mainly into three types या three classes: saprotrophic, parasitic, and holozoic. Can you define the first one? Saprotrophic. Define it. Okay, very good. So all the organisms which take their food from dead matter, है ना, या which grows या which lives on the dead and decaying matter are known as saprotrophic. Okay, they are also essential for the giving the soil fertility and all the things. So the organisms which feed on dead and decaying matter are come under this category. Okay. Next, parasitic. Can you define this one? What are parasites or parasitic mode? Okay, so they basically live on or inside any other organisms and get its food requirements from that organism. Okay, so they are known as parasites. They basically survive on some other organisms है ना by going inside their body और जिस पे ये सर्वाइव करेंगे उससे अपन क्या कहेंगे होस्ट एंड दे आर नोन एज पैरासाइट्स थर्ड वन holozoic. Okay, very good. So basically human beings came under this category of holozoic. What they do, they take the food inside their body है ना and then they take their nutrition from that food. तो पैरासाइट के अंदर ऑर्गेनिज्म एंटर करेगा इसके अंदर और यहाँ से अपना फूड लेगा और होलोजोइक के अंदर क्या होगा फूड विल एंटर inside their body and they get their requirements nutrient requirements energy from that food by different processes which we will study further. Okay, so basically in this topic we have to study two main things. For autotrophic, green plants perform, yeah, green plants prepare their food by this process, photosynthesis. So we have to study this process, photosynthesis, in detail. And from the heterotrophic, as I have told you earlier, we have to mainly study about plants and human beings. So human beings are under this category, holozoic mode of nutrition. So the process by which they prepare their food is known as digestion. So we have to study two things here in this nutrition topic. First is synthesis of food by green plants, that is the process of photosynthesis, and nutrition in human beings, that is by the process of digestion. Okay, firstly, we will start with the process of photosynthesis. So during photosynthesis, plants take sunlight from the atmosphere or from the sun, carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and water from the soil, and then the chlorophyll, which is present inside the plant. In the presence of this chlorophyll, plant prepare its food, that is we can say glucose, or we can write it down as sugars. And along with this glucose, the byproduct oxygen is also released, which we used in our respiration process. Okay. So what are the main things which are going on in this process? We have to study these things step by step. Basic thing, and the reaction is clear to us, that plants take carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, water, the roots of plant take water from the soil, and in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, it forms glucose, its food, and the byproduct oxygen. It also gives us oxygen gas. Sunlight is necessary for the conversion of, yeah, sunlight is the source of energy in this process. It converts the light energy into chemical energy, okay, by this process. So these are the main things which is going on during this process. Now we have to study these things step by step, that what happens first and how does this reaction carry out. So you can define this term photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? If we want to define, what we can write. And we have to write down all the things in the presence of chlorophyll. Okay. So we can write down it as the process in which green plants prepare their food. Green plants prepare their food from simple inorganic substance, है ना, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड, वाटर, they are simple inorganic substance. They are using these things or materials, we can say H2O and CO2 to form complex organic substance such as glucose. Complex organic substance glucose, the formula for glucose is C6H12O6 in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. So this is the process of photosynthesis. Basically, we have to write down this, the complete chemical reaction in language form. Now we will write the reaction of this. What is the reaction of photosynthesis? CO2 plus H2O gives glucose C6H12O6 plus O2. This reaction occurs in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight. Okay. Now we can also balance this equation. How we can balance it? For balancing, we will put 6 here, then 12H2O, and then 6O2. है ना? So we can also balance it. Now the main events which occur during this process, we have to study about these events. So first event is absorption of light energy by chlorophyll. Yeah, first thing is what sunlight do? Sunlight break down the water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen. So the first step is simply absorption of sunlight by chlorophyll of the plant, and this energy is used to break down the water molecules present there है ना, into hydrogen and oxygen. So we can write down the first step as absorption of light energy by chlorophyll. This is the first thing which happens. After this, this light energy is converted into chemical energy. So conversion of light energy into chemical energy, and this chemical energy is used in what? This chemical energy is used to break down water molecules. है ना? This chemical energy is used to break water molecule or H2O into hydrogen and oxygen gases. Okay, so we can also name this process as hydrolysis. Hydro means water and lysis means to break something. So breaking down or splitting of water molecules happens in this step. After this, acha, I can write down this reaction in this form. H2O is splitting into H2 and O2. Now what type of reaction is this? Can you name this reaction? And again in decomposition reactions, we are having three types: electrolytic, photolytic, and so which one is this? Photolytic decomposition. So this is an also an example of photolytic decomposition because light energy is used to decompose water into hydrogen and oxygen. Okay. Now what happens in the third step? Reduction reaction will go in the third step. What happens here? They go in the third step. The hydrogen released in the second step combines with CO2, or we can say reduction of CO2 take place and the CO2 is converted into complex organic compound glucose. What is reduction? Reduction is addition of hydrogen. So these hydrogen gases are added into CO2 to form glucose. Okay. Now basically two reactions are going on here. If we see, we can break down the complete reaction into two parts. First thing is breakdown of water molecule. into hydrogen and oxygen. This reaction is take place in the presence of sunlight. So we can name this reaction as light reaction. Okay, beta. This reaction is going on in the presence of light or it is not possible in dark. So this reaction is known as light reaction. And the second one reaction, reduction of CO2. This reaction is known as dark reaction. So we can split the photosynthesis reaction into two parts. This reaction, light reaction, will always occur in the daytime and the dark reaction may occur at any time. Okay. Basically, some plants, when all the things like water is not present during daytime, if we take the example of some desert plants, then what they do? They absorb the light energy, okay, store inside it, and when they get the water, then they carry out these reactions. Okay, so it is not necessary that all the reaction take place simultaneously in photosynthesis. Yeah, all the things are in proper steps. Okay. So these are the main two events which take place during the photosynthesis. We can split the photosynthesis reaction into two parts, light reaction and dark reaction. So this point is clear. Okay, now again, this is the diagram of the chloroplast, or we are saying that the reaction is completed in the presence of photosynthesis. So what happens mainly, the chloroplast is also a double membrane. Outer membrane is there and the inner membrane is also there. Okay. Now mainly we have to read about two parts, granum and stroma. Granum, the light reaction take place in this part, and in stroma the dark reaction take place. Okay. No questions will be asked from this, means about the details of chloroplast, but we can understood it that two reactions are going on. So granum, or we can say the light reaction, take place in this part, and the dark reaction is take place in this part. And the thylakoid is what? Thylakoid is just all the connections of these granums. Okay, main we have to remember just two things. So this is the mainly we have to study in photosynthesis. Firstly, the process and then the reactions or the main steps which are going on in this reaction. So, any doubt in this process? After that, we have to read about the nutrition in human beings. So, in human beings, for studying the nutrition, firstly, this process starts from our mouth. As we know, the digestion process starts from our mouth. And these diagrams are important. We have to do more and more practice of this diagram. Whenever the question comes, explain the digestive system. Obviously, the first thing is we have to make a neat and clean diagram. So this all process start from the mouth. Means the digestion process starts from the mouth. है ना, जो digestion है वो भी mouth से ही start हो जाएगा. कैसे हो जाएगा इसको देखते हैं. Firstly, there are two, three organs which supports in this process. First thing is intake of food. Food is intake by this organ, mouth. अच्छा, we can mainly divide this nutrition in human beings into three steps, we can say. Because first step is ingestion, means intake of food. After that, digestion, breakdown of the complex compounds into simple compounds, or taking out energy from the food or converting the food into useful compounds or absorption of food. All these things came under this process. And then egestion, removal of waste, is known as digestion. Okay, so mainly these three steps are involved in nutrition in human beings. So first thing is intake of food. So intake of food is carried out by mouth. Now in our mouth, different organs are there, like firstly, teeth are present. What are the work of teeth? Breaking down the food, grinding of food, and all these things are done by teeth. Again, in our teeth, we have different types of teeth. Like you have studied in our previous classes, molar teeth are there, premolars, and incisor, canines, all these things are there. No need to remember all these, but simply we have to remember that teeth are helpful in cutting of food, yeah, breaking down, grinding of food, tearing of food, all these things. Okay. Now the inner linings of teeth, inner linings of teeth have, sorry, inner linings of mouth have salivary glands. What these salivary glands do, they secrete, yeah, they release saliva, and saliva is used in digestion process. सो होता क्या, यहीं से हमारा फूड का डाइजेशन स्टार्ट हो जाएगा. What saliva do? Saliva will start digesting the carbohydrates which we take inside our body. Okay, all these things are carried out by different, means all the, we have studied that main we get energy from three things: carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. So there are different enzymes for the digestion of these three things. What are these enzymes are known as? They are also known as biocatalyst, है ना? Okay, so these enzymes are responsible for the breaking down of these complex things: carbohydrate, fats, and proteins. So what happens firstly? Firstly, the saliva secreted by salivary glands in the mouth start the breaking down of carbohydrates. Okay, after this thing, the food enters in esophagus, है ना? Mostly it is OESO, है ना? This is the correct spelling. Okay, the food pipe by which the food reach to our stomach. Okay, now obviously food is moving inside it. Then some force is also acting here, which is used to move the food. So the process which helps in the movement of food, that process is known as peristalsis. Okay, yeah, we can say peristaltic motion. What is this motion? The food pipe is there. If the food particle is there, then what these walls do? They push the food particles downward by simple contraction and relaxation. They push the food particles further and further. This rhythmic contraction and relaxation of these muscles are known as peristaltic movement, or we can name this process as peristalsis. Okay. Now after this, the food reaches to the stomach. Now in stomach, different types of gastric juices are present. Okay, I'm erasing all the rest things. In stomach, different types of gastric juice are there, which again responsible for the digestion of our food particles. Now what are these gastric juice? First thing is HCl, hydrochloric acid. Second important thing is pepsin, and third thing is mucus. So what is the work of HCl? It creates an acidic medium for the better digestion of food, or we can say for the digestion of protein. The digestion of protein is only possible in acidic medium. So HCl is secreted in our stomach, which is helpful for the digestion of protein. And what is the work of pepsin? Pepsin is used in the digestion or breaking down of proteins. After that, mucus, as we have studied that HCl is released in our stomach. So to protect the stomach from the HCl, as we know, hydrochloric acid is a strong acid. So protect our stomach from this HCl, stomach also release mucus which protects our inner linings. है ना? This protects the inner linings of our stomach. Okay, beta. This is the word of sorry. This is the work of mucus. Any doubt up to this? So firstly, we have studied that salivary amylase, है ना, or saliva. It converts. देखो what salivary glands or saliva is doing. They are converting carbohydrates into glucose. Okay. Then next important things are protein. Proteins are converted into amino acids mainly by pepsin and also by trypsin, that is also used in this same process. We can also write down trypsin here. Okay. Then for the next third thing, which is fats. For conversion of fats into fatty acids, lipase are used, है ना? Or we can say lipids are used. They are helpful in converting fats into fatty acids. So we have to remember these three things. After stomach, the food enters into this part. This part is known as small intestine. So small intestine is also known as the site of complete digestion. मतलब जो maximum digestion है, this all digestion take place in this part. So small intestine is known as site of complete digestion. As we can see from it is attached from the liver with some pipes. So what these pipes do, they are providing again some juices to it for the digestion. One thing is bile juice, or we can say bile salt, and the other which it get from pancreas. From pancreas it is also receiving pancreatic juices, which are trypsin and lipase, which we have studied earlier. Okay, so digestion is going on in this part. For carrying out this digestion, it is getting bile juice or bile salt from liver, and trypsin and lipase from the pancreas as pancreatic juice. Now, what is the work of bile juice? It breaks large fat globules into globules, and this process is known as emulsification of food. है ना? This process is known as emulsification of food. Okay. So this thing is carried out by bile juice. Also, it creates alkaline medium. As we have studied that earlier, acidic medium is created by HCl. Now alkaline medium, alkaline is just opposite of acid. We can say bases which are soluble in water are known as alkaline. So now it creates an alkaline medium for the digestion of the remaining particles, or we can say for the digestion of fats. Understood? Then trypsin is again used for the digestion of proteins, and lipase are used for the digestion of fats. So this complete process is known as emulsification. Now, how maximum digestion take place in a small intestine? In a small intestine, we have some finger-like projections, and or we can say there are so many finger-like projections are there, which are known as villi. They simply increase the area for the absorption of food. They are directly connected with the blood vessels. So from here, the absorbed food or absorbed particles are provided or transported to different cells. So there are several finger-like projections are there from which all the nutrients or the food is absorbed. Okay. So they prevent the wastage of all the essential things like proteins, glucose, and fatty acids, amino acids. They absorb all the things and supply it to the cell. So we can say maximum absorption or the complete digestion of food take place in this part. Now, after this, the undigested food and all the liquid water is transported to the large intestine part. In large intestine part, absorption of water take place mainly, and the remaining waste things move to this part, and here the absorption of water take place. Again, the finger-like projections are there, which are used for water absorption. Okay. After this, the rest, or we can say the waste, is transported to the anus and then it is moved outside our body. Now, sometime they will also ask about what is the means approx length of small intestine. So, can you answer it? It is about 6 to 6.5 meters. है ना? And the length of large intestine is 1.5 meter. Then can you tell me one thing why this is shorter in length? Still we are saying it as large intestine. Why we are saying so? Means they are basically classified not or according to their length. They are classified according to their width. है ना? Width of small intestine is very less as compared to large intestine. Therefore, it is known as large intestine because it is having greater width and small intestine is having lesser width. Okay. Now, one more question is there. Mostly the herbivorous means the animals which are only eating plants. They have longer, smaller intestine as compared to carnivorous. जितने भी हर्बीवोरस होंगे उनके अंदर स्मॉलर इंटेस्टाइन लॉन्गर होगी व्हाई बिकॉज they are eating plants and plant contain cellulose. So for digestion of cellulose it takes longer time. है ना ग्रास जो भी होगी उसको डाइजेस्ट करने के लिए longer time की रिक्वायरमेंट है. That's why they are having longer small intestine. Okay. In carnivorous animals, the small intestine is of shorter length. So we have studied all the things. One thing is remaining appendix. Can you tell me what is the role of this in digestion? देखो what early humans या we can say ना early men what kind of food they eat? They simply eat raw food. Raw food का मतलब क्या हुआ कच्चा खाना खाते थे वो बिना पकाए. Like if they are eating anything, they mostly eat it raw. है ना when before the invention of fire and all the things, they mostly consume raw food. So for the digestion of raw food, this part appendix is used. Earlier, this is the appendix, okay? Earlier, it is also bigger in size because it is maximum in use in that time when the human beings are consuming raw food. Nowadays, when no one is consuming this kind of food, this organ is not in use. है ना? At present, this organ is not in use. And can you tell me what the organs which are not in use named as? They are named as vestigial organs, means which are present in our body but they are of no use. Okay, so appendix is also come under this category, and also its size is also decreasing day by day ना. At presently ह्यूमन बींग्स के अंदर हम इसका साइज देखेंगे तो अर्ली मैन के टाइम से काफी ज्यादा छोटा होगा. Okay, so this is all about human digestive system. So any doubt in this? So mostly we have covered all the things. Some things are left, that the digestion in amoeba. That topic is left. We will cover it tomorrow. And some read you what you have to do now. You have to read the all the things given in NCRT properly. Okay. Read NCRT line by line up to this topic, and then if you have any doubt, then we will take your doubts tomorrow. Then any other doubt? Okay, then send me the answers of that maths, है ना?